Hey there, this is your host, Dr. Lori Friesen, and you're listening to episode number 304 of Beginning Teacher Talk. Just because you're a beginning elementary teacher, there is no need for you to struggle like one. I'm dedicated to being the mentor for you that I wish I had when I first started teaching. In this podcast, we talk about all of the behind-the-scenes stuff about teaching you really need to know, but didn't learn when you were in university. And we share the most amazing resources, tips, and strategies out there so you can become the teacher you've always dreamed of being. Let's start the show. Well, hey there, my friends, and welcome back to episode number 304. And today I have a very special episode for you because I'm going to be answering a question that I have been getting more and more from teachers. I've been answering this question so much in email and on social media that I thought, you know what, this is something I really need to record an episode about. So a lot of teachers are asking me, now that I have two main programs, they're asking me, what is the difference between Ready for School Academy and the Classroom Management Club? So what's the difference? And basically, which one should I be getting? Like, which one is right for me? So we're going to do a deep dive into that today, and I'm going to explain the difference and help you to decide which one should I be enrolling in, which one should I be getting at different stages, because depending on where you are in your teaching career or at your stage of development as an educator, the answer might be different. So we're going to talk about that. So that's really exciting. And also, we're going to talk about what's happening next after this episode, because one of my favorite things to do each year is to head into a season of interviewing some of my students. So teachers inside both the academy and inside the club who I've been working with and alongside closely, especially during the summer months inside the academy, and then in the club throughout the year. The summer months when you have a little more time especially. So over the next few months, you're going to be hearing from a lot of teachers, both brand new teachers and teachers who have an entire range of experience. So you can not only learn from their experiences, but so you can really see that you're not alone, and that if you're struggling with something, that you're likely going to hear from other teachers who have struggled or who are currently grappling with something and how they're solving that problem in their classroom. So you can get an idea of, oh, you know what, maybe I can look at this a little differently, and you can get an idea of how you could solve something that maybe you had never thought of before. I love listening to how other people solve problems because it always sheds light on looking at things just a little differently, and it helps me to see things in a different light, literally. So we have some great new interviews lined up over the next few months that we're going to be sprinkling in to our regular episodes, as well as some guest experts that I'm going to be inviting onto the show. So we have lots of fun surprises coming up for you in the coming months as well. Also, before we dive into today's topic, this is your reminder that if you haven't entered our Beginning Teacher Talk Summer Contest, you can enter to win tuition to either Ready for School Academy or a one-year membership for the Classroom Management Club. So you can check out the show notes for this episode to get the link to the Google form. So you can enter today. Just go to the show notes. We'll be announcing one lucky winner on the podcast on Wednesday, July 31st, 2024. And that winner will have their choice of either a Ready for School Academy scholarship or a one-year membership to the Classroom Management Club. So if you've already enrolled in either one or the other, you will be reimbursed for one or the other. So again, to enter to win, just go to my website at drlorifriesen.com or visit the show notes for this episode to get the link to the Google form. Okay, so if you're already saying, hold on, Lori, what are these? Which one is right for me? Okay, so as you already know, I've mentioned two programs. The first one is the Ready for School Academy, and the second one is the Elementary Teacher Classroom Management Club. Okay, so the first is the Ready for School Academy. The Ready for School Academy is a course. It's a 5-module course. It typically takes you about 5 weeks to complete, and it's designed to set you up for success for the beginning of the school year. So I typically teach the academy in the summer. I begin enrollment in the spring for the academy. So a lot of teachers want to take the academy in the spring. So if you've just graduated from college, a lot of teachers really want the academy right then and there so that they can start thinking about preparing for their school year. A lot of teachers say, why are you doing that in the spring? Well, it's because, I don't know if you're listening to this when you've been teaching for a few years, you remember what it was like when you first graduated. You really want to start preparing and getting ready so you're not stressing about this last minute. So the Academy is designed to walk you through 5 main steps. The first one is how to set up and organize your classroom. Even if you can't get into your classroom, even if you can't get into your school, even if you haven't landed your job yet. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but I help you to think it all through. It's so awesome. I just love it. Teachers, when they go through this process, it gives them so much relief because I show you how to do it no matter what. Even if you can't get into your room, you can do all of the back end thinking and planning, even if you can't see your space. The second step is how to design a clear, customized classroom management plan that works. Yes, with today's kids. Yes, with any classroom, because the same pieces are going to be required no matter which classroom you have. Yes, from K to 5th grade. And I always say K to 5th grade and 6th grade if you're teaching 6th grade in an elementary school. But if you're teaching 6th grade in a middle school, it's just a different mindset. I wouldn't recommend that you would take the Academy if you're teaching 6th grade in a middle school. It just is a whole different culture and a different mindset. If you're teaching 6th grade in an elementary school, then you can kind of be swept up still in the elementary mindset and it will fit, it'll work. The third stage is creating your teacher planner and your student data binder. I teach you how to set all of that up. I give you all of the templates. They're editable, so you can set this up either digitally or paper. And if you're a paper planner, you can do that in paper or you can set it all up digitally. But I show you what to include, how to think it all through, how to get started with your year plans and your scope and sequence plans, all of that. The fourth step is planning your first week of school. I give you all of the resources that you need to do that. I show you how to do it. I show you what to do that first hour, that first day, that first week. I show you how to unpack school supplies with your students, how to organize school supplies with your students, all of that. And then the fifth step is all about Meet the Teacher Night. I teach you how to set yourself up for Meet the Teacher Night. I teach you what to do in advance, how to run that night, how to set yourself up for success with parents, how to get parents involved, really how to establish and maintain fantastic relationships with parents throughout the year. So that is the Academy in a nutshell. A lot of teachers take the Academy at different stages of their career. So I'm going to tell you, the Academy is perfect for student teachers in their last year of their degree. I wouldn't recommend that you take the Academy or enroll in the Academy before your last year of your degree because you just won't be ready for it yet. But I do think it's fantastic if you're in your student teaching practicum, because you can make the most of your practicum and you can ask so many valuable questions of your mentor teacher when you're in your placement, because you know what to ask. As you're going through the modules of the Academy as your student teaching, oh my gosh, you will be able to milk that experience because you'll know how to ask your mentor teacher about the organization of their classroom. You'll be able to ask the questions about why they've made specific decisions around their classroom management. You'll be able to ask them how they do their planning and how they save time with planning. It just helps so much to make the most of that student teaching experience. And it helps you to interview strongly. It will help you to answer your interview questions really well. It'll impress your principals as you're interviewing, and it'll really help you hit the ground running the moment you're hired because you'll be ready to design and decorate your classroom because I give you classroom themes and all of the decor you need, right? So it's great for student teachers in your last year. It's also, of course, fantastic if you're a new kindergarten to 5th grade, potentially 6th grade, again, if you're teaching in an elementary school teacher. If you've just been hired and you need to set up and organize your classroom and get ready for that year, oh my gosh, like I love it if you can get the Academy right away when you first graduate and you've just been hired. If you are hired in May, for example, it's fabulous because you can literally be ready for your first week of school like by June if you want to be, June or like mid-July. Totally up to you if you want to do the work by then, but then you're not stressing over the summer. You can take a break, you can relax and enjoy your vacation. And when they hit you with all of that last minute PD, which they usually do in the last, the week or two before school, they hit you with so much PD. They ask you to do so many things. You have to do so many meetings. it's really kind of stressful, unnecessarily. And they often don't let you into your classroom until like 3 days before, which again is unnecessarily stressful for so many teachers. It drives me crazy. But then you've done most of the work in advance and you can just get in there and set everything up because you've done most of the back end work. It's so much less stressful. Also, the Academy is great for teachers who have a few years of experience, but you want a more streamlined way to prepare for the year and run your classroom. So a lot of teachers have joined the Academy who just want to get ready more quickly for the year. They just kind of want a checklist, like a step-by-step checklist, and they want the resources so they can go through it quickly. A lot of teachers who have a few years of experience join the Academy and they go through it every year and get ready more and more quickly, and they streamline things faster. And then I've had a lot of experienced teachers, by the way, join the Academy now. At the time of recording this, we'll probably have many more teachers later. We have more than 2,400 teachers already in the Academy, but we're getting more and more experienced teachers, like 30 plus years of experience, who are joining the Academy because they feel like they're starting over because they're changing grades. They're new to elementary. So a lot of teachers are going from middle school to elementary or high school to elementary. They feel like they're starting like brand new again, or they're starting fresh at a new school or new district. It's much easier to start with a plan like the Academy gives you than it would be to start from scratch trying to figure it all out by yourself. So if you're interested in the Academy, the first step that I recommend you take is to take my free masterclass. And I've been talking about it for like 10 weeks now in this series that I just finished doing this summer on the podcast, but it's called How to Get Ready for the School Year in 5 Weeks or Less. It really gives you an overview of the Academy and everything that I give you. You get 120 resources to prepare for the year. It's an incredible value. But the class itself is free to give you an overview of everything I teach you. And inside that class, you get an 1.5-hour PD certificate when you complete it. I teach you the 5-step framework that we just talked very briefly about inside the Academy. And I teach you some mistakes that I really encourage you to avoid when you're setting up your classroom, why you don't need to start from scratch and spend your whole summer preparing, and how you can do this all in 5 weeks when you stay laser focused on what really matters, and then how you can work with me, which is, of course, joining the Academy if you want to at the end. So that's the first step I recommend you take, and I will link to that free class for you where you're listening to this episode in the show notes for the Academy. So if you're interested in that, then that's the first step for taking the Academy or joining the Academy. Now, if you've taken the Academy already, you've completed the Academy, the natural next step is to join the Classroom Management Club. Now, the Classroom Management Club is an annual membership, so it's different than the Academy. The Academy, you get lifetime access to all of the resources and materials. So once you purchase the Ready for School Academy, you get lifetime access to all of the course materials and content, so you can revisit it year after year after year. The Classroom Management Club is an annual membership because we are constantly adding new content to the membership every month. So it's a living, breathing experience. We are adding new content based on what our members need and want throughout the school year. So every month we're adding fresh content. We're adding new resources for you. We just finished adding emergency subplans for every single month of the school year. So for example, that's the most recent offering that we're giving you, but you get so many resources in the club. It's kind of designed as a Netflix for teachers. So if you think of the Ready for School Academy, again, as step number 1, where we start the year strong, we're setting the foundation for your classroom. The Classroom Management Club is step number 2, where we offer you support throughout the year. So inside the club, you'll learn how to integrate social and emotional learning into your classroom. And of course, we give you curriculum to integrate social and emotional learning into your classroom every single morning through social and emotional learning morning work. And we give you all of that curriculum for kindergarten through 5th grade. We show you how to prevent and manage extreme behaviors, and we give you step-by-step guides and resources to troubleshoot all of those behaviors in your classroom. We show you how to streamline your planning and your classroom systems. We give you step-by-step videos and trainings, and we call them teacher cheat sheets to help you do that. We show you how to incorporate new classroom management resources each month. So if your classroom management strategy is not working, your current one, then we give you a lot of different ideas for how you can implement a fresh strategy, try something different with your students. And that's the point of the club, is to help you troubleshoot ongoing, so that if what you're currently doing is not working, we give you another idea and another idea and another idea until you find something that works perfectly for your students and your teaching context and your teaching style. Because quite frankly, just because one idea works for one teacher does not mean it's going to work for another, right? We all have different styles and different contexts, and our schools allow some things and some different things than others. So we have a lot of different ideas, and we love troubleshooting and coming up with new ideas to help you. And the bottom line is we help you to manage any situation that comes up in your classroom. So the club is really perfect for teachers, first of all, who have graduated from Ready for School Academy and want to continue that support throughout the year. It's a very positive community, some amazing teachers that are sharing such great ideas in there. So you'll have access to such a positive, supportive community. We do have monthly, we call them kudos and combos calls. So we celebrate teachers, we celebrate members who are working on different strategies in their classrooms, who have had successes. It's just so much fun to feel that support and camaraderie with other teachers who are trying different things, who are having some successes with students. And it's a really fun and positive experience. The club is also perfect for teachers who are subbing. If you don't have a contract yet and you're a sub in your district and you want access to resources and support to carry with you into any classroom and at any grade level, kindergarten through fifth grade throughout the year. We also have middle school teachers in the club. I did not design the club for middle school, but we do have middle school teachers in there who love the club. So we'll talk about that too. In fact, we're going to be interviewing a teacher on the podcast very soon, Alicia, who's a middle school teacher, and she's loving the club. So you can ask her some questions as well. She's inside our academy community as well if you want to ask her questions. The club is perfect also for teachers who have been teaching for a few years, but who need strategic help to prevent and manage challenging, defiant behaviors. We have a lot of interesting behaviors, especially challenging behaviors cropping up now. A lot of challenges with neurodivergent children or especially defiant children. And so I'm always adding in research-based resources for you to help you to navigate those challenges and to give you fresh tools and ideas for how you can work with these children. The club is also perfect for teachers who want the tools and resources to deepen not only student relationships, but parent relationships. I know that we have a lot of parents who are especially challenging, and it's really hard to know how to respond to parents in positive ways and professional ways. So I have a lot of resources inside the club to help you to do that, especially when it comes to, grading and responding to parents in challenging and tricky situations. So we have a lot of resources there to help you with that. We have a lot of great resources for teachers who want to streamline their planning and grading practices so that you can start saving more time and getting your weekends back. And for teachers who want to finally get really the tools and resources that they need and that work with today's kids so you can stop worrying and instead sleep peacefully at night knowing that you have a plan for anything that comes up in your classroom. And if you don't know what to do, that you have somewhere to go to ask for help and support. That's really the cornerstone of what the club is about. It's a place where you can go to ask for help no matter what. If you don't know where to turn, if you feel embarrassed to ask for help somewhere else, you can come to us and we will help you troubleshoot and find an answer. That is really the foundation of what we offer inside the club. And then we give you oodles of support and tools to get you there. So if you are interested in the club, there's so much more to it. I have a second free class that I really encourage you to attend to learn more about what this club is about and how it can help you. And it's called the 5-Step Classroom Management Reset. And it's what I recommend you start with when you join the club. So it's a free class again, where I will teach you how you can reset your classroom management in 4 weeks or less. So you don't need to overhaul your entire classroom management plan. And so you can finally learn to manage your most challenging and defiant students and also get your weekends back. Classroom management is not just about managing challenging students. It's about managing all of the different aspects of your classroom, which in the end saves you time and gets your weekends back. So inside that class, I share the 5-step framework that I use and that my students use inside the club to reset your classroom management in 4 weeks or less. We talk about the mistakes to avoid when you're streamlining your classroom management. It's going to save you so much time and so much stress. Why you don't need to overhaul your entire classroom management plan to manage your most challenging and defiant students, because they require a special type of plan. You don't manage these students the same way that you manage your other students. Even though there are overarching things you can do in your classroom to set an environment that helps to prevent a lot of challenges that you might not even realize you're doing right now. There are specific ways that we're going to manage these students to help them specifically that you're not going to do with everybody else. It would take way too much time. But there's specific things you can do with just those students. So what you can do with those students, and again, of course, how you can work with me more closely to master your classroom management and create that amazing self-running classroom that everybody wants. So if you're interested in learning more about the club, I encourage you to sign up for that free class. And again, I'll link to that class in the show notes for this episode so you can learn more. And of course, if you have any other questions, if that just brought up a bunch more questions for you, reach out to my team at support@drlorifriesen.com. We'd love to answer your questions if you have any further questions about the Classroom Management Club or about the Academy. And we will really work to answer your questions within 24 hours. If it's a weekend, it might take us longer, but we'd be happy to answer your questions. And we'll post those links for you inside the show notes for this episode. All right, my friends, I hope that was helpful for you. I hope it cleared up some questions about the difference between the Academy and the club. It would be my honor to support you inside one or both of those programs. And remember, just because you're a beginning elementary teacher, there's no need for you to struggle like one. Bye for now.